We'll talk about some unsettling things regarding Camavinga in a moment, but first let's start with this. Enzo Fernández once again offering himself, well, making a move, another hint towards Madrid. This wasn't exactly an offer, but it's definitely a hint. He had the chance to answer the question differently, and yet once again it's related to Madrid, isn't it? His wife, Balu Cervantes, was there. Welcome, Madrid fans. She didn't say anything. How are you all doing? And who's pushing harder to go to Madrid? Who's pushing harder? It seems like both of them are eager to make him go. Yes, there was an interview with her the other day, actually, where she also mentioned the city of Madrid. Well, I'm remembering what Di Maria's wife said back in the day. She didn't say it when Di Maria left in the summer of 2014, but she said it later. And also, I think I remember, I don't know if it was in an interview with her or in Di Maria's biography. I think I remember that she told him at the time, that summer, 12 years ago, but where are you going? Where are you going, man? Where are you going when we're doing so well in Madrid? And then she reminded him of it as time went by. Di Maria is one of those former Madrid players whose career declined after leaving. He did worse after leaving than he did at Madrid. He would have done much better at Madrid if he had stayed, that guy, but his career didn't fall apart either, like it has for others, right? However, his wife told him, hey, man, look, you have everything here, the city and so on. And, well, it seems like things are going that way now, but in reverse, right? Moving to Madrid. This is what Enzo Fernández said in response to a question, an innocent question.
He's in that same position and waiting.
Wait, but now.
Have you ever thought, I have to mark this player today? Yes, since I play the same position, I watch midfielders when I face them, especially Toni Kroos. I mean, Chelsea against Real Madrid there at the Bernabeu, and honestly, well, both him and Modric, honestly, another one who makes very few mistakes. That year, they won the Champions League, beating us in the quarterfinals, I think. But really, incredible quality.
What's that? He says maybe, well, the thing is, he gets confused at the end. He says that Madrid won the Champions League that year. This was in the match in March, almost April, against Chelsea in the 2022 to 2023 season. Madrid didn't win the Champions League that year. City beat them in the semifinals. Madrid had won the year before and after, but not that specific year. That's when this guy goes to Chelsea. This boy goes to Chelsea after playing and winning the World Cup. In the winter of 23, he had just arrived. He hadn't been there long at all. In fact, there had been talk about the possibility of him going to Madrid. He cost Chelsea 120 or 130 million, I don't know, an absolute fortune. And I remember being at the Bernabeu and really paying attention to him. I mean, hey, this guy, well, we had already noticed him at the World Cup. He didn't have a great game at the Bernabeu. He didn't have a great tie. I think he showed more at the World Cup, but then he proved to be a great footballer, no doubt about it. Well, it's one hint after another, guys. I mean, what a player, Toni Kroos, you know? Anyway, well, speaking of Real Madrid midfielders, watch out for this Camavinga thing, because AS is reporting on a possible sale to Paris Saint-Germain or to the Premier League. Or the Premier League, they're there, they've got their eye on Camavinga. Well, they've had their eye on him for a while now, not just recently, right? They say the situation is complicated at Real Madrid. If there's any player people are talking about who could be sold, look, the other day, Frank Carrillo told us that for him, it wouldn't be traumatic. For me, it would be a bit traumatic, yes, selling Camavinga, but it's Eduardo. He hasn't really kicked on, and I care about him a lot. I think he's a great kid. I mean, a great player, of course, with more potential than actual results. And that's the thing. It seems like he never really gets going. Injuries have also held him back. Anyway, what haven't we already said about Camavinga here, right? No need to repeat it. Let me know in the comments what you think. But if Paris Saint-Germain or the Premier League are interested, what would you ask for? Over 80 million. I mean, Madrid can't just give anyone away. Madrid can't just give anyone away, but it would be a big move. I don't know. We're here with the Argentinians. Painful, he says. It would be painful, man. But hey, his job at Madrid would already be done. I mean, as an impact sub, he always worked better as an impact sub than as anything else. Nowadays, actually, since he has that positional anarchy, it almost works better for you when games open up. When the opposing team is already physically worn out, I mean, how he breaks lines when carrying the ball, which is, for me, Camavinga's greatest quality. But if you put him as a single pivot, it doesn't work, man. And next to Tchouaméni, I haven't really been convinced either. Then they've invented a bunch of positions for him, like playing on the right with that thing the previous coach did against Barca, right? In the Clásico. Well, it works for you one day. Left back, okay. But anyway, but then there's another thing regarding Camavinga, which is about Didier Deschamps, right? He might be thinking, and this is what L'Equipe says, that maybe he won't take him to the World Cup. The Real Madrid midfielder may not be called up for the tournament, as Didier Deschamps and his staff will assess his late season performance before deciding. It's better if he doesn't go, at least according to this Madrid account. That for Real Madrid, it's better if he doesn't go. Well, I don't know. If you want his value to go up, then maybe it's better if he goes. I don't know. But of course, then there's the risk of injuries and so on, right? Look, we wanted to increase Rodrigo's value, even though before he got injured, he had a good run there. Right before he got injured, he wasn't doing well, but he had a strong run at the end of last year and early this year. And then, well, the injury meant that no matter how much you want to increase his value, if he gets injured, you're stuck with him. That's just how it is. Well, there's something about Camavinga that I've only heard translated, and we're going to listen to it now. I mean, if I play this clip from El Partidazo de Cope, don't be alarmed. It's Camavinga. Let's check out something about Camavinga. And it's these statements, this interview he gave where he talks about that thing with Arbeloa and the donuts, man. It's something that Edu Aguirre mentioned the other day. He wasn't saying no either. It seems silly to me, honestly, really silly, but I didn't know, because you can't say that what he's saying isn't true or that it's a lie. Saying, man, look, El Chiringuito is what it is, and Edu Aguirre is who he is. But he's a guy who's very plugged into the Real Madrid locker room, really inside the Real Madrid locker room. I mean, what he says, you have to take it seriously. You have to take it into account. And I said that it seemed like nonsense to me. And besides, I just don't like the whole pastry thing. I don't like it, damn it. I don't like it. No, we're Madrid, and we all have 15 champions already. I just don't like it. Hey, well, Camavinga confirmed it, right? Look, I think he's got the same spirit as Ancelotti.
I think that
It's like he got the same spirit as Ancelotti.
he shares Ancelotti's spirit.
About Arbeloa.
He gives us a lot of freedom both on and off the field. He's someone who takes care of his players and talks to them. Sometimes he even comes with some gifts.
Physical gifts?
Yes, some donuts sometimes.
Does he let you eat donuts?
Sometimes a cheat meal now and then.
So that's the secret, the donuts.
Yes, also speculoos and cookies, Oreo sometimes.
And Conregos sometimes.
Speculoos? Well, cookies, speculoos. What are speculoos? I swear I don't know. Tell me in the comments, and maybe, but Miguel, how do you not know? I don't know. I swear I don't know. What are they? Wait, I'm going to look it up. Now I'm curious. It's speculoos. I know they're like some kind of cookies, right? Like cookies. It's a kind of traditional Christmas cookie in Belgium. Okay, got it. Okay. Well, in Belgium, well, that's what Camavinga said. Thanks. He was talking about cheat meals, the famous cheat meals. An elite athlete who goes through brutal workouts. I mean, living a day in the body of these people must be something incredible, because seriously, if football, anyone who has played football knows, football wears you out a lot. A lot of people say, no, they only play once or twice a week at most. Excuse me, I mean, they train every day. And look, they actually train less precisely because they go all out during the matches. And a football match leaves you exhausted. Even those of us who play a little, it leaves you wiped out for the next few days. These people say, well, yes, they're prepared for that. Football is really tough. And obviously you use up a lot of energy and so on. Me, with cheat meals, with the famous cheat meals, I'm not so against them every now and then. But for an elite athlete, look, it makes less sense to me, maybe once in a long while. But it suggests here that if he gives them treats because they win matches, Madrid wins a lot of matches, and lately even more, well, it kind of seems like that, like the breakfast with donuts. I forgive me, and Arbeloa is doing very interesting things and doing them very well, but I don't get it. If it's about, like Camavinga says, being a bit like Ancelotti, maybe it's a tactic from Arbeloa, who said, hey, look, you know, this didn't work for my friend. I'll take the Ancelotti approach, buttering up the players and all that. He might overlook things he thinks aren't done right, believing you have to take care of these guys like Zidane did back in the day, and that's good. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments what you think about the pastries. Sorry, but I just don't get it with elite athletes. We can make that joke like, look, at Arsenal, maybe they monitor everything they eat, every milligram they might put on and all that, and maybe we'll get there. Well, we'd only meet them in the final. Last year, they beat us badly, but Arsenal has never won a Champions League, even though in recent years they looked like they might do something, and then nothing ever came of it. I think this year they will. I mean, all that technical training and perfection and everything. Then Madrid shows up with two sobaos pasiegos and wins a Champions League. But that joke is also true. It's going to become a meme. But what do you want me to say? Football has changed. Football has changed. And I hope I'm wrong, but football has changed. I don't know. Madrid's locker room is very unique. Football has changed. Before it was different. And back then we had characters like Guti. And listen, Guti, I always talk about him because, hey, I'm proud of it. I played a match against Guti in Real Madrid's youth team during the 2 weeks or week and a half that I was training there. And I played against Guti. Guti was in the youth team and had already debuted in the first division. And that was something. Guti was amazing, right? Obviously, an incredible talent, but always, the usual things with Guti, right? He never wanted to be what he could have been, etc., etc., etc. But he confirms it with his own words too. And it's a unique locker room. At Madrid, there have been people who stayed like Mariano, like Vallejo. I don't know. It's not normal for these things to happen at Madrid. It's not like Guti. Guti gave us a lot, but never gave 100%. Still, his 60% was already significant. And it was something that, look, now with the passage of time, he sums it up this way. Listen, with Fermin right there in an interview they did with him, imagine is what this podcast is called. I don't know exactly what it's called. And Fermin was right there. Have you ever been offered
more money than you were making at Madrid and you turned it down? Yes. Milan back in his day, yes. He went to play there, that's true.
Milan wanted him for more than what Madrid was paying him. There was a lot of talk during that time, around the year 2000, I think, maybe 2000 or 2001, around then.
I think it was the club's centenary when I played a really good match, and that's when they contacted me about going there. And you didn't want to, right? No, well, not really. I mean, I've never been motivated by money. I mean, I've acted based on what I felt and what I wanted, right?
And me, well, look, just like I say one thing, I say the other. I think it's true because I believe that somewhere else they would have paid him more.
And many times I wanted to be at Madrid to play. I said it. I prefer to play 30 minutes at Madrid than 90 for another team. That's the reality, In the end, of course, that was my wish, to play at Madrid. I mean, I don't think many people have been able to play with Zidane, with Figo, with Ronaldo, with Cristiano Ronaldo, with Benzema, with Roberto Carlos, with Kaká. Well, I mean, that's what I take with me,
Well, look, Pedri, Fermin was nodding, right, when he said that, right, about Zidane, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo, and so on. Just like I say one thing, I insist, I say the other too. This is also a show of commitment to Madrid. Although some might say he would have shown even more commitment to Madrid if he had given 100%, right? But, well, it was just a way of looking at life. For example, I compare it to Sergio Llull in basketball, who always gave 100%, even in better or worse seasons. Still, he received many NBA offers. It's a different case, and he always wanted to stay in Madrid because Madrid was good for his family and all that. I mean, he really liked Madrid, and Guti, well, he really liked Madrid too. But what did Guti like about Madrid? What did he like about Madrid? Then it's true he felt good helping Madrid in whatever way he could contribute, and he would say, well, why should I go to another club? Everyone is a bit below Madrid, of course, right? But when I'm here at Madrid, I can play with these people. Well, fair enough. But the Madrid locker room has always been something, very particular, as I say. Everything about the Cornella issue, yesterday's chance, and the anthem booing has already been covered in the previous video, so there's nothing more for me to add. I'm going to put it here at the end in the two videos that always appear. One of them is the morning one, the midday one, with my opinion about that. Just to add one thing. Lamine Yamal spoke, also Jamal, we also included it in the video. He wrote a statement there and Vinicius liked it. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. That's why I don't want to be so categorical. I don't know if at any point Jamal did the same with Vinny's statements, complaining about when hundreds or thousands of people called him a monkey outside or inside the stadium, maybe fewer, but still a lot of people. No, yes, he did the same. Maybe he did. What Lamine Yamal did do at the time, and there are some statements out there, was to downplay when someone from the stands, the cavemen in the stands who throw racist insults at you, look, we're here for this. I just ignore those people, right? You can't ignore those people when there are hundreds or thousands being called a monkey isn't the same as yesterday's chants. Even if some equate them, they're different, though both are ugly. But there are levels too. And what happened yesterday at the Cornella Stadium was done with really bad intentions. Because it's not just a phrase that, if you analyze it, no, it doesn't hide any insult. Are, as in the word that starts with are and ends with sist, but rather xenophobic or Islamophobic, as we said in the previous video. But it does hurt, of course. It's hurtful, and we said it here. Well, watch the previous video, as I said, right? And my friend Mala has come out very upset, with every right to complain about this. Well, it seems my friend Mala has matured and realizes this is wrong, that having this done to you, hey. But at the time, she came out very, with her chest out, saying, no, I don't care what people say about me. It doesn't matter to me. But look, no, of course it matters. Of course it matters. And Vinicius, supported Aramin. But anyway, having said that, of course, there was a question this afternoon from Tiempo de Juego in Cornella. Kobe, Tiempo de Juego? Was it Tiempo de Juego? Wait, where are you? Where are you? Here you are. It says Tiempo de Juego. Would you give the World Cup to a country where shouts against another religion or racist chants have been heard? Of course, this is very relative, isn't it? I mean, they gave the World Cup to Qatar, which hasn't respected human rights. They've given them a World Cup. They've given a World Cup to Russia too. And look, I mean, anyway, it's just unbelievable. It's a joke. I mean, I think we're joking, right? But anyway, this is just an oversimplification for me. So someone replied really well and said, well, look, Alberto Ortega, who we follow, says, I would start by removing Dani Senabre from Mr. Tullias. This was the tweet from Dani Senabre that he liked when he said, when you have to promote your Netflix documentary, when you have to testify in front of a judge but you're on vacation, besides the fact that it was a lie, it was a completely twisted tweet, right? On top of that, he put a drawing of a monkey here having a daiquiri on a hammock, right? And he said on a lounge chair, and it was an absolutely racist tweet, right? And then Dani Senabre liked it and later explained himself, saying, no, I only saw the daiquiri. Man, seriously. He removed the like, and he's still there. The guy is still on coke. And now he makes comments like, oh, you have to be really careful about what you like. Excuse me, that wasn't a slip. Or at least I understand it wasn't a slip. Come on, don't mess with me. But anyway, look, they got the answer they needed. In the end, what is a problem now wasn't before, well, for whatever reason, right? As I mentioned, it's all explained in the previous video, which is nearly 30 minutes long. See you in the next one. Thanks for being there. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, share, and that's it. Well, I want to remind you of something very important, which is the following. If you want to get the audiobook, the first audiobook in the history of Real Madrid, and as such, without ever coming out in print, the greatest story ever told. You have it down here in the description, the link to get the audiobook and have a 3-month subscription to my website, to Miguel Serrano TV, which is my membership site. You already know that I have taken it off YouTube from my platform and my channel. All right, see you in the next one. Thanks for being there. Like I said, have a good night. Bye.